Okay, chapter 2-4 continued. Today we're going to be talking about standard form. The first two slides in front of your notes from today are not actually going to be part of your homework assignment. However, I felt it was very important that I still covered it because it is stuff that you need to review from geometry from last year, okay? Standard form is going to be any equation in the form of ax plus by is equal to c, where a, b, and c are coefficients and generally integers. Okay, an integer is any positive or negative whole number, including 0. Remember that? Okay. Standard form is generally used for systems of equations, linear combination, and determinants. Okay. Now, what I need to do is I need to get this y equals mx plus b form out of that and put it in ax plus by is equal to c. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of that denominator, which is a 4. So how do I go about doing that? We are going to multiply each and every term by the value 4. So 4 times y is? 4y is equal to 4 divided by 4 is 1. Bring down the 3x. 4 times negative 4 gives me? Minus 36. Good. Now I need it in standard form. Standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. So what do I need to do? I need to get the x on the same side as the y. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So when I do that, standard form is going to give me negative 3x plus 4y is equal to negative 36. This is standard form. It is not helpful for what we're doing graphically. But it is something I need to introduce to you again so that whenever we talk about it later on, systems of equations will be like, aha, I remember this. Okay? I'm going to skip the second part of that slide. And we're going to go right down to graphing linear equations. Now, what is it to be an x-intercept and to be a y-intercept? What does it mean to be an x-intercept graphically? It's the point on the graph where it crosses the x-axis. What's a y-intercept? The point on the graph where it crosses the y-axis. Now, we understand what they are, which means, how do we find them? Well, we're going to let y equals 0. The reason why we're letting y equals 0 because as an ordered pair, if it's the x-intercept, it's the point x comma 0. We all understand that. Now, with that said, we're going to let y equals 0, solve for x, and then we're going to have the point x 0. That makes sense, right? The y-intercept. Well, if you're crossing the y-axis, then this time what has to be 0? X. We've talked about that many times. So we're going to let x be 0, solve for y, and then you're going to have the y-intercept 0y. Now, let's actually do one of these problems like this. Okay? 3x plus 5y is equal to 15. Generally speaking, when you're finding your x and your y-intercepts, what you're doing is you're given an equation in standard form. Is this in standard form? Yeah. Yes, ax plus by is equal to c is what standard form is. Do we all understand that? Good. So now what we want to do is we want to find the x-intercept. Well, according to the last slide, to find the x-intercept, what does that imply about y? It's 0. Pencils in hand and start writing it down. So, y is 0, which means I'm going to plug in a 0 for y. But what happens to the y value? It disappears. It becomes 0. So I'm left with 3x is equal to 15. Now, how do I solve for x there? Divide by 3 on both sides, and x is equal to 5. However, what's my ordered pair? 5, 0. So how do I graph the point 5, 0? I go to the right 5 units and go up 0. So here's my ordered pair. Do we see that? Okay. Now I need to find my y-intercept. Well, what does it mean to be a y-intercept? The x is going to be 0. So this time I'm going to plug in a 0 in for x. And what happens to x? It's gone, and I'm left with 5y is equal to 15. And now what do I need to do? Divide by 5. And I'm going to get y is equal to 3 to give me a y-intercept being what? 0, 3. And how do I graph that? I go over to the left, 0, or to the right, 0 units, and I go up 3. Now, can I draw a line between those 2 points? Sure. Is that a really quick, easy way to graph? Heck yeah, it is. Did we see there's your graph? Did we get that? Yay or nay? Okay. Again, there's another one here for you. I'm going to skip this one, and we're going to go straight to tonight's work. Okay, that was just a quick review of how to find the x and y intercepts if you ever needed to. Okay? Now, parallel lines. Today what we're talking about are parallel lines. Parallel lines remind you of what in real life? Railroad tracks. Railroad tracks. Now, they remind me of railroad tracks in real life because railroad tracks never what? They never cross or intersect, right? Now, but they constantly move. How do they never cross? Sorry. They are exactly the same distance apart from each other, true statement, which means what about the lines? They do go on forever.
They are parallel.
The lines are parallel, meaning the slopes are the same, right? Every time one line moved, in order for the other part of the line to move, I couldn't go like this, right? They would intersect. In order for them not to intersect, the slopes had to be the same. I just had to move it down. Did we get that, yay or nay? Great. Now, how do I denote parallel lines? Parallel lines are denoted with those slanted L's, okay? Perpendicular lines. Those are lines whose slopes are the negative reciprocals. An example of this, and I think it's already on your notes, if I have 2/3 as my slope, what's my perpendicular slope? Well, what's the reciprocal of 2/3? 3/2, and what's the opposite of positive? Negative. Do we understand that, yes or no? Okay? Now, with that said, we're going to do a whole bunch of them here. What is my parallel slope of 5? 5. What is my perpendicular slope?
-1/5.
-1/5. Good. What's my parallel slope of 2/3? 2/3. What's my perpendicular slope of 2/3? -3/2. Do we see that, yay or nay? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. What is my parallel slope of -2/7? -2/7. What is my perpendicular slope of -2/7?
+7/2.
+7/2. Very good. What's my parallel slope of -5/11?
-5/11.
And what's my perpendicular slope?
+11.
Do we all understand how to find parallel or perpendicular slopes given out? Yes? Are we good? Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Oh boy, the steps just go away. Oh, shnikes.
Oh.
Isn't that fun?
Control Z.
Uh-huh.
Control Y. Control A, Z.
Okay.
One only touch your red, but like those buttons have.
Okay, steps to parallel and perpendicular lines. Now this is what we're doing today. These steps are big, big, big deals, okay? Now, step 1. Take the given equation and slope for y. What you're going to do is you're going to solve that thing for y. Take the given equation, solve it for y. Why do I need to solve it for y? Because what do I need out of it?
Y.
I don't care about the y-intercept. What do I care about? Every single thing we've talked about so far today has been about slope. It's been about slope, right? Parallel means the slopes are the same. Perpendicular means the slopes are opposite reciprocals, okay? So step 2 is find the slope. Step 3 is find the parallel and perpendicular slope, whichever you may need, okay? Step 4 is use the new slope of the point to find the new equation. And step 5 is plug and chug into your equation. Which equation am I talking about? Whichever one you as an individual like. It may be y equals mx plus b. It may be point slope y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Plug and chug for that equation and check the slopes of parallel and perpendicular slopes. Are we good? Let's do it. the equation of the line. Find the equation of the line that is parallel to the line y equals 6x minus 2. So step 1 says take the equation and solve it for what? Here's my equation. Y is equal to 6x minus 2. Is it solved for y? Yes. So what does that mean? That means it's already solved. So what do I need to get out of that equation? I need the slope of that. So the slope of this equation right there is 6. Do we all understand that? Now the next thing I need to pull out is, do I want it to be parallel or perpendicular?
Parallel.
Well, it says to do parallel through the point 1, -3. Do we see that? So now what do I need to do? Is I need to find the parallel slope. And what is the parallel slope? 6. What is my point? 1, -3. Now, with that said, which method would you like to plug that information into? Mx plus b. So I'm using y is equal to mx plus b. I label my point what when using this method?
X and Y.
You label it x and y. So now I plug in y is -3, m is going to be 6, x is 1 plus b. What do I do? Solve for b. So -3 is equal to 6 plus b. Now what?
Subtract or add 3.
Subtract 6. I'm solving for b. So -9 is equal to b. So am I done? No, I plug it back in. So I have y is equal to mx plus b. The y stays, m, my parallel slope is 6, and my b value is -9. Now, what did I tell you to check in the last step of the steps there? What did I tell you to check? Make sure that whatever it's asking for is that it is actually the parallel slope. The parallel slope is 6. Did I change that? No, so I know I'm okay. Okay? Next, find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to the line y equals -4x plus 2/3 through the point 8,5. So what do I do?
Find your slope.
Take the first equation, which is right here, and what do I do? Solve it for y. Is it solved?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So my slope of that equation, and I'm actually going to go over here. My slope of this equation is going to be -4. Agree? Now what am I looking for? I need it to be perpendicular. So what's my perpendicular slope? Positive 1/4. Do we all see that? And what point is it going through? 8,5. Now I'm going to use the other method. When I'm using the point slope formula, what do I label my point as?
Y.
X1, Y1. And what do I do? Plug and chug. So the first Y stays, the first X stays, everything else turns into numbers. So Y minus 5 is equal to 1/4 times X minus 8. Okay, now what do I do? Distribute. So that's going to give me y minus 5 is equal to 1/4 of x. And what is 1/4 of 8? 2. 8 times 1 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now what do I do with that 5? Add the 5. So y is equal to 1/4 x plus 3. Now what did I tell you to check at the very end? Make sure that my slope, which is 1/4, is my perpendicular slope up there. Do they match? Yes, I'm good to go. Okay, now, given the line 4x plus 2y is equal to 7 and the point 4, -2, alarms are sounding in my head. Why are there alarms sounding in my head? Because it is not solved for y. So immediately I see this ugly equation in standard form. That's not at all helpful to me, is it? I need to put that form into mx plus b. So how do I put this in mx plus b form? I need to do what? Solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So I have 2y is equal to negative 4x plus 7. Now what? I'm going to divide each and every term by 2. So y is equal to negative 2x plus 7 over 2. Okay, well, why is this helpful for me? What do I need out of that? I need the slope. So my slope is negative 2, is it not? So now that I know what my slope is, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, okay, well, what is the problem asking for? It's asking for a parallel line, isn't it? It's asking for a parallel line. So what's my parallel slope? My parallel slope is still going to be negative 2, and the point that I have to use is going to be 4, negative 2. Do we see that, yes or no? We good? Okay, so if I'm using y equals mx plus b, notice how I'm presenting in both methods for anybody who doesn't like the other one. I label my point x and y. Y is negative 2, m is negative 2, x is 4 plus b. Negative 2 is equal to negative 8 plus b. Now what? Add the 8. And I have 6 is equal to b. So now that I've found b, what do I find for my answer? Plus 6. Okay? Now, are these two lines right here parallel lines?
Yeah.
How do you know that they're parallel lines? Straight 2. The slopes are what? Exactly the same. Okay, now we're going to exactly the same problem, but this time what's part B asks you to do? Perpendicular. Do I need to solve this thing for y again? Why do I not need to solve this thing for y? Because I already did it. It is right here. I can see that my slope is negative 2. So now what do I want to find? I want to find my perpendicular slope, which is going to be what? To positive 1/2. The reciprocal of 2 is 1/2, and it was negative 2, so I get the opposite negative to make it positive. Do we get that? Yes or no? Excellent. Now I'm still going to use the same point, which is going to be 4, negative 2. Okay? So if I'm using the same point, which is going to be 4, negative 2, the last method I used was mx plus b. True statement? This time I'm going to use point slope. Do you have to keep switching them? No, I'm just making sure everybody's understanding. When using point slope, I label this x1 and y1. And I plug and chug all those values. What stays in this equation?
Y and X.
Y and x stays. Very good. So y minus negative 2 is equal to 1/2 times x minus 4. What does that do, Shayla? Y plus 2 is equal to half of x. What's half of 4?
2.
Minus 2. Very good. Now what do I do with the plus 2? I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So y is equal to 1/2 x minus 4. Now, what did I tell you to check? That I'm getting a perpendicular slope. Is that a perpendicular slope of 1/2 whenever I solve it? Yes, which means I didn't mess up the problem whenever I did the algebra. Do we all understand that? Okay, next. It says find the equation of the line through the point negative 5, 6 parallel to the equation containing the points negative 5, 4, and negative 4, 0. What in the world? There's no equation. What do I do? I have to find a slope because parallel lines and perpendicular lines all deal with slope. So instead of being given an equation, what I've given you instead are 2 points that I can find the slope by going ahead and using what? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Labeling our points. Come on. x1, y1, x2, y2. Yes? So that's going to be 0 minus 4 over negative 4 minus negative 5. Negative 4 over 1 to give me a slope being negative 4. Okay, now that I've had my slope, what do I do? What's my parallel slope? It's still -4. What point am I using? Read the directions and make sure you're pulling the appropriate point. I'm using the point -5, 6. Do we all see that? So if I'm using the point -5, 6, oh, come on. Y is equal to mx plus b. This is x, this is y. Y is 6, m is -4, x is -5 plus b. So what does this give you? 6 is equal to 20 plus b. Subtract the 20. And this is going to give you -14 is equal to b to give me the final equation to be y is equal to
-4x.
Good. Same exact problem, is it not? Except for what? I have to find the perpendicular. Well, do I have to find the slope again? No, because I already found it over here. So if it's slope over here is going to be -4, then what am I looking for? What's my perpendicular slope? 1/4. And what's the point I'm using? -5, 6. So nothing has changed there, has it? So if that hasn't changed, I'm going to use the other method. So y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Labeling this x1, y1. So y minus 6 is equal to 1/4 times x minus a -5. Let's minus a negative. What is ugly about this problem? The fraction. 5 does not go in. 5 does not divisible by 4, is it? So now I need to do what? Good job, folks. That's 4y minus 24 is equal to 4 divided by 4 is 1. Do I need the 1? No, just go ahead and drop it. Leave it as x plus 5 because nothing goes into the parenthesis, does it? Now what do I do? I'm going to add 24 to both sides. And I have 4y is equal to x plus 29. Now what? Each term is divisible, needs to be divided by 4, so I have 1/4 x plus 29 over 4. Did you see how I put that 1 back in front of that x? That 1x is understood to be there, even though it's the phantom 1, right? It's actually there, you just don't see it, and now I have it. Okay, now we have like 2 or 3 minutes, and I want to talk about one other thing here. If I want a parallel line to a horizontal line, what's another parallel line to a horizontal line? Another what? If I want a parallel line to a horizontal line, what is that going to be? Another horizontal line, right? If I want a perpendicular line to a horizontal line, what is that going to be? A vertical line. So with that said, this is not in your notes. If I have y is equal to 6 through the point, let's say 7, 2. I want a parallel line. I want a parallel line. What's my equation? Well, here's y equals 6. Here's your point 7, 2. 7, 2. What's my parallel line to that?
0, 2.
Horizontal.
A horizontal line at?
0, 2.
At y equals 7, you take the, or at y equals 2, sorry. Okay? So my parallel line is going to be y is equal to 2. You're going to take the y coordinate. What's my perpendicular line?
7. X equals 7.
It's going to be x equals 7. I can't write up here. You're going to take the x coordinate. Do we see that? Yes or no? You have that on tonight's worksheet. Now, what does tonight's worksheet look like? You do not have enough room to do this on the paper. You must show all of your work on another sheet of paper. Put your answers on this paper. Am I clear? Now, I would like to talk to you about problem number 12. Problem number 12, the hole punch cut out that x equals 6 part. So problem number 12, that is going to be 3x minus 5y is equal to 6. So put that on there for number 12. Number 12 equals 6. Okay, problem number 12, it equals 6. Now, is there any reason that you should not be able to do this tonight?
No.
No. Tomorrow we will have a work day. That does not mean that you wait and do your homework tomorrow. No, that means I'm going to answer any and all questions. Then on Thursday we're going to have a quiz over section 2-4. Any questions on what I just talked about? Alright, well, you guys are going to miss review. Okay. I have a question. How about